Miss Qualtric here, and we are going to make some cookies today. For this recipe, you will need 2 cups of granulated sugar, or 400 grams of granulated sugar. You will need half a cup of milk, or 120 milliliters. You will need half a cup of butter, or 113 grams of unsalted butter. You will need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You will need half a cup of cocoa powder, or 60 grams of cocoa powder. You'll need half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You will need 3 cups of oats, or 270 grams of oats. And you will need 1 cup of desiccated coconut, or 100 grams of desiccated coconut. Oh, also, if you want, can have Christmas sparkles or sprinkles on the top. Alright, boys and girls, so we're going to get started with our cookies now. So the first thing you need is a medium pot, and you're going to put your pot over medium heat on the stove top. You will need your parent supervision for this, so make sure your parents are there with you. Make sure you don't do it too high because you don't want to burn your cookies. You want it just at a medium heat in a medium pan. Right, so once your pot is heated up to medium heat, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your 2 cups of granulated sugar in. Then you're going to put your half cup of milk in. You're going to put your half cup of butter in. And then finally you're going to put your half teaspoon of salt in. You're going to mix it, continuing to mix it. Don't stop mixing it because you don't want that sugar to burn on the bottom, okay? So you're going to keep mixing it until it starts to boil. Boil means that there's little bubbles in it, okay? The bubbles burst at the top. So they come from the bottom and they burst at the top. So you're going to keep mixing it until it starts to boil. And I'll show you what this looks like as you're mixing it, alright? So I've put the sugar, the milk, the butter, and the salt in here. And I'm just mixing it about. As you can see, the butter is starting to melt, and those are the yellow streaks in with it there. So you're going to continue to stir it until it starts to boil. So I'm going to pause the video. So same with you, pause the video, and then when it starts to boil, you can press play, and I will show you what it looks like, okay? Alright, so I've continued to mix, and as you can see, the bubbles are starting around the side, so it's starting to boil. So now what you're going to do is you're going to add your half cup of cocoa powder. So you add in your half cup of cocoa powder, and then you continue to stir it for 2 minutes. So continuing to stir for 2 minutes. Alright, so I have stirred my mixture now for 2 minutes. And so now your next thing you need to do, you need to turn off your burner so that there's no more heat going on the pot, but you're going to keep your pot on top of the burner. So you're not going to take it off, you're going to leave your pot on the burner, but you're going to turn off the burner. So there's no more heat going through the burner at a high temperature, alright? Then what you're going to do is you're going to add your vanilla. So you should have half a teaspoon of vanilla. So you add it in. Make sure you mix it, and then you add your 3 cups of oats. So adding in your oats, give it a little stir. It's starting to get sticky. It'll get a little bit hard to mix. Let me just show you what it will look like. So this is what it's starting to look like. I've just added the oats. I'm just mixing it all in so it's getting sticky. It's turning everything brown. Looking yummy. Alright, now you're going to add in your coconut. So you next add in your coconut and you give it another stir. So I've just added in my coconut. So I'm stirring it all up. And as soon as it's all mixed together, you're then going to start to spoon your mixture onto a parchment paper. So it's good to have the parchment paper beside the oven because you're wanting the heat to still come from that burner because you want it to stay warm or else it's really hard to form your cookies. Alright, so make sure you keep your pot on your burner. Alright, so I just got a pan with parchment paper and I'm just going to put it right beside the pot here. Alright, and what you're going to do is you're going to make your cookies. Alright, so you have your parchment paper beside. Get 2 spoons, and what you're going to do, you're going to dip in. Make sure you get a nice amount on those spoons, and then you're going to put them onto the parchment paper. So I'll just show you how to do this. Alright, so you're going to take your 2 spoons, get a nice amount, and you're literally just going to drop it onto the parchment paper, scrape it off your spoon, and it should turn into a nice little mound of delicious cookiness. And then you're going to continue this until there is no more cookie dough left in the pot. So just continuing to drop your cookies 2 spoons at a time onto the parchment paper until it's all gone. Alright, so your cookie should look something like this. Ooh, so yummy! Alright, then the last and final step is really decorating your cookies. So I've bought this little Christmas sprinkle set from Morrison's, and I'm going to use it to decorate my cookie. So I'm going to choose some gold stars for the first one. So I'm just going to sprinkle it over top of one of the haystacks. I'm going to do some colorful balls on another one. So it's up to you how you want to decorate your cookies. You can decorate them however you want. I'm going to do a little assortment. That way they're all a little bit fun and Christmassy. So it's up to you how you want to do them, but you can decorate to your little heart's desire. And then the very final step, you just wait for them to cool, and as soon as they cool, they'll harden a little bit, and then you can eat them. And here we have our final product of our cookies. Ooh, I can't wait for them to cool so I can munch them all up. Yum, yum, yum.